were going on side to do a trading app, and it just didn't work out for them. Right. Like, it sounded like it was good. You had a lot of people that was getting in, and they was making it. It was very hype, but at the end of the day, you know, they lost the money because they was following the trend, right?
Following the trend. Those guys who was just following a trend, they had the wrong idea about investing.
Right. That's right.
They had the wrong, you know, a lot of people.
And I tried to protect them, right? I tried to, and I didn't want to be forceful and be like, no, y'all can't do this.
Yeah.
But I wanted.
Because you're not their fault.
I knew they was going to go all in. Because you said, we talking about diversification.
Right.
You putting all your eggs in one basket for a trend, right?
Right.
That may not work.
That might not work.
Yeah. And so, yeah, man, they lost the money. And just imagine they're younger, so they don't have a lot of money coming in. Mm-hmm. And like you said, now they can't even afford to pay on the debt. So they mess up their credit. They mess up the relationship with the business. And so they got to reestablish all of that. It's like, you know, working backwards for real.
Yeah, working backwards for real. And what is there anything that we could do? I mean, that anyone could do to stop, you know, people from doing this, or it's just, man, you just got to let them?
Well, you know what we do? We got to educate them, right? Yeah. And that's why every first Saturday here at 100 Gems Plaza, I'm teaching that because I understand the importance of it. Right. Like, it's our responsibility to bring them up the right way, because ain't nobody going to tell them. The schools don't teach it. The banks won't teach it because they want to make sure that, you know, they do their thing. So really the only way around it is through financial literacy and education, you know, in podcasts like this, having a talk. Because like you said, had them young brothers listen to this first, they probably wouldn't invest everything. They probably would still invest half, which I wouldn't even done that.
Right.
But you got to test it first. Like, don't put it all out there. You know, just like with Cash App, sometimes it's a new person on Cash App. You send $1 first, don't you? Right? You check it out. So did you get it? All right, yeah. Here come the rest of it. Yeah.
Man, that's a good example, because you don't know who you sending that money to.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well, okay, we got two more. Emotional decision making. So people they want to invest. They making decisions based upon their emotion.
Yeah, no, that's deep right there, right? Well, man, that's really deep, you know, and that's with the financial literacy workshops, empowerment through knowledge, it's mental wellness too, right? Or mental health, because a lot of the things we do emotionally is based off things we've been through in life. Right. And so sometimes we don't know that we doing things emotionally, or we doing things based off other things. So we got to tap into that. And like I said, that's why the plan is important. With the plan, it'll be less emotion involved. You know, one of my buddies that do contracting and do properties, he always said this. He said, anytime a big decision comes, like anytime I got to spend over $2,000, I wait 24 hours and I think about it and I ask myself these questions. Yep. So, like, I thought that was cool, because there used to be some stuff like, hey, man, dude, it's only $3,000 and it's this. But that was his rule. That was his rule to keep him intact on his emotions. Because, yeah, it's $2,000-3,000 now, but what about if it's 50 or 60 and I use these same, you know, this emotional feel about it?
Right.
You'll be messed up. Like, emotion is really what's moving a lot of this stuff, right? And it got to be practical. We got to be a plan. Emotions, we got to remove emotions from business, period.
Yeah. That's good advice, just all the way around, man. Any decision you make, you wanna think about it before you do it, you know. And especially when it comes to money, you know, and your livelihood. So yeah, if you got a big decision, you need to wait. If you can, wait a certain amount of time before you make that decision.
Yeah. And then put down what if, right? Like, what if this don't work, or what if that don't work? What's the backup plan to that? Because maybe if you write that down and look at that, you may not even do that investment.
You might not.
Right?
That's some more game. Yeah. Write down what if. You know, the pros and cons if you do this thing.
Yeah.
Well, here's the final one in the list of 15. Lack of research. So you want to invest, but you don't do no research on what you investing in. You just, you doing all, you doing all 14 of the other things, but the number one thing you're not doing, you're not investing. I mean,
research.
Yeah, how many people come to you like that every day?
Yeah, a lot of them. Like they research something they just seen pop up on their Instagram thing, and they think they did some research, right? Yeah, like researching is gonna be key. You have to research. You have to fact check. You gotta look up the people that you investing with,
right.
Making sure they good, making sure they grounded. Most of us gonna do more than one investment in our lifetime. Like maybe we're gonna get lucky. We might get lucky to first 2, 3, 4 investments. Mm-hmm. But if we don't have a strategy on how we look at investments, sooner or later we're gonna lose. Like for example, if you invest in, if everything you see you invest 100%, but you've been making money, but every time you invest, you aggressive and you use it 100%. Sooner or later, one of your investments is not going to make it.
Right.
So all that stuff that you've done in the past that you did well on, you lost because you didn't have anything in place, because you still invest. Your strategy is invest it all.
Right.
It's just like playing dice. Yeah, if you invest it all, yeah, you might hit a whole bunch of times in a row. Mm-hmm. But eventually, Ray, it's going to crap out.
Right.
Eventually you're gonna crap out.
Yeah. So
you got to make sure that you have diversification. You got to make sure you're not spending it all. You got to make sure that you have a plan in play, which is key. You got to make sure having a mentor or a strategist with you, that's gonna be key. Research, homework, learn as much about it as you can. Look at the gurus. Try to become your own guru in that industry before you even get down. Man. And lastly, Ray, I'm gonna say this. I'm hoping this is gonna be value for the people that's listening in. I was at a convention a couple of years ago, and a lady, a black business banker, said this. This was a few years ago, and I thought it was interesting. She said that she seen people coming to the bank that didn't have a lot of money, and all of a sudden, they deposits is super high. They got a lot of money coming through the bank, and she did some further investigation to see what happened. And what they've done was, those people didn't try to reinvent the wheel. What they did was, they went and bought a business, Ray, that already exists and that already was making money, right? So the smartest way, like we try to say, I know I got a great idea. I want to open up this restaurant. I want to open up a gym. Well, if that's the thought and you want to protect your investment the best way you can, go and find a business that you like or that you can work in or that you have a passion for, and look at that business and buy that business because it's already making money.
Right.
So the day you buy it, you making money.
Right.
You follow me, Ray?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great advice. And whatever's working for them, keep doing that.
That's right.
A lot of us, I can improve. Yeah, you can improve, marginally, but this is already working. That's so right. You, like you said, you don't got to reinvent the wheel. Keep doing what's working. Just like in any sport or anything. Hey, I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing till you stop me.
That's right. So and then, Ray, the SBA, just back to that point, I want to make sure your listeners get this part, that when you buy in the business, let's say the business is $2 million, $3 million, you don't have to pay $2 or $3 million out of your pocket. SBA will give you a loan. All you got to have is 5-10% down. Even if you don't have 5 or 10% down, you can structure the deal to where the seller finance you that 5 or 10%. So you could go into a business deal actually without even using your own money, right? And some of the other great things to that would be that business, like I said, can be cash flowing well. That business can have good business credit as well. Well, now you can expand the business. You can borrow from the business's history and credit. So you're getting into the game with limited investment and coming out on top.
Man, that's great advice. And if you didn't watch this video all the way through, you wouldn't have heard that. So investing can be, like Darvin said, you invest in someone else's business that's already been profitable.